formula and empirical formula. Na? I hope you have. Please go through your notes for a while. The last question, and then we can start. This question is important from the board's point of view. Okay. So whenever I say there is a question which is important from the board point of view, just write like this. Okay, that means in your school they can ask this question also. So the question is, a welding fuel gas contains carbon and hydrogen only. Contain carbon and hydrogen only. Okay. Also, I would ask that please write this question with me because this is a long question. Okay. Hydrogen only. Burning of small sample of it. Burning of small sample. Small sample of it in oxygen. Okay, that means we are carrying out combustion. In oxygen gives 3.36 gram of CO2 and 0.690 gram of H2O. 0.690 gram of H2O, 3.36 gram of. Okay. Also, there is another information that they have given. 10 liters of this sample. Sample means the gas that we are going to identify, this welding fuel gas. Okay, 10 liters of this sample weighs 11.6 grams at STP. At STP, determine the empirical formula and molecular formula of the welding fuel gas. Okay, of the welding fuel gas. Okay. In NCERT, this your question is NCERT 1.34. Okay, so there are total 36 questions. This is the 34th question in your NCERT first chapter. So how will you approach this question? See, the first thing that they have stated is there is a welding fuel gas. It contains carbon and hydrogen only. That means it has only carbon and only hydrogen. Okay, fine. Now the next thing, which is very much in accordance with the statement that it has only carbon and only hydrogen, is that burning of small sample of it in oxygen gives carbon dioxide. There's some amount of carbon dioxide and some amount of water. Okay, that means okay, that is fine, sir. That means, see, if I have anything which has carbon, so I'm just writing carbon plus oxygen will give me what? CO2, right? And if I have hydrogen plus O2 will give me H2O. That is, if I do this, then it is balanced. Okay, that means if I have carbon and it reacts with any compound containing carbon, it reacts with oxygen, it will follow this reaction. Okay, that is, the carbon will react with oxygen and it will form CO2. If it has hydrogen, the hydrogen will react. Rather, I should like it like this. Okay, so now it is better. Yeah. So if hydrogen reacts with oxygen, it will be H2. Now from this information, we can move forward. Is everyone clear till here? That if I have carbon, carbon will follow the reaction, that is carbon plus oxygen gives CO2. And if we have hydrogen, the hydrogen will follow the reaction, 2H2 plus O2 will give 2H2O. Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, fine. Now let us start with the carbon, and this is valence. Okay, fine, this is valence. Now, what is the molecular mass of carbon? It is 12 grams. Okay. We are not concerned about oxygen because oxygen can be directly, we can get that from the atmosphere. We are concerned about the CO2 and how many grams of CO2 has been found. That means it is 44 grams. Okay, if we take 1 mole of it. Now we will start with the stoichiometry unitary method. Okay, unitary method. So 44 grams of CO2 requires how many grams of carbon, Hamza?
12 grams.
Yeah, very good. 12 grams of carbon. Okay. Next statement will be, if I have 1 gram of CO2, if I have 1 gram of CO2, if I burn something and I get 1 gram of CO2, that means this 1 gram of CO2 would require 12 by 44 gram of carbon. But the amount of CO2 that we got was how much? 3.36. The next statement will be 3.36 gram of CO2 will require 12 by 44 into 3.36 gram of CO2. Okay, let me just 3.36 gram. Okay, now the answer here will be 0.9218. Okay, let me just confirm it. I guess here it is 0.9218. Now this question is so important that most of the values get stuck in my head, but let me just confirm it. This is 12 by 44 into 3.36 grams of CO2. This is equal to 0.916. 0.916 grams. Okay. Now we know that the sample which was burned, it had how many grams of carbon? Okay, the sample burned had itna gram of carbon. Okay, Hamza, Hiba, Salman, and Khalid. Everyone clear with the carbon
Yes, sir.
statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
can you do the same thing with the hydrogen also? I would be very happy if you get the right answer, if you approach it in the right way. Let me just tell you one thing. Okay, let me just tell you one thing. Let's see, here it is how much? 2 H2s. That means the total gram will be here 4 grams. Okay, we don't want to concern ourselves with the oxygen, and 2 moles of H2. This will weigh how many grams? 36 grams. Okay, so you start with the statement 36 grams of H2O requires 4 grams of hydrogen. Okay, now you will write the 1 gram, then you will write how many grams of H2O we get. We got 0.690 grams of H2O. That means then you will write 0.690 grams of H2O will require how many grams. Then you will write the sample burnt had dash gram of hydrogen. Okay, right
Yes,
here
sir.
H2. Please, if you get the answer in what you have to fill the dash here, just send me the answer in chat. Okay. Yes, Khalid, correct. Yes, Hamza, correct. Very good. Okay, I'm just waiting for Hiba's answer. I guess Salman is away. He has sent me a chat earlier. Yes, Hiba, correct. Okay, all of you got it right. Very good. So here we have 36 grams. So we'll write 1 gram of H2O requires 4 by 36 gram of H2. And after that, we will write, so we have 0.690 gram of H2O requires 4 by 36. The 0.690, this will be equal to 0.0766, and it will be continued. It will be continuously 6, so we can write 0.076. We will write here 7. Okay, and let us increase one more decimal digit from here. 0. This one is 9163. Okay, 9163. Okay, one more question. Have you guys completed the whole slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now, so we have the amount of carbon in the sample, the amount of hydrogen in the sample, and the and we know that the sample is made up of only carbon and hydrogen, right? So mass of carbon is how much? Mass of carbon in sample is equal to 0.9, what was it? 9163 and 9163 grams. And mass of hydrogen in sample is equal to 0.0767 grams. Okay. So mass of sample will be equal to mass of sample is equal to, can you guys add it and tell me? 0.993, right?
Yes, sir.
0.993 grams. Okay. So we have got the mass of sample also. Now what we require the percentage of carbon. Okay, we require the percentage of carbon so that we can take out the ratios now of carbon and hydrogen. Then we can turn out with the formula. So now percentage of carbon in sample, and this is mass percentage. Okay, the how much amount of carbon is present in terms of mass. So we will have the mass of carbon divided by mass of sample into 100. So mass of carbon is 0.9163. This will be divided by 0.993 into 100. Okay. So don't worry, I will calculate this. We have 0.9163 divided by 0.993. Please don't take it 1. Okay, otherwise it is not 100% carbon. Right? You may seem like, sir, 0.9, 0.9 तो है, दोनों को काट देते 1 कर देते. No, don't approximate here because there is some amount of hydrogen that you have. Now this will be equal to 92%. And let me write it 92.275. Okay, 92.275 percentage. Now percentage of hydrogen in sample. Percentage of hydrogen in sample, you can again write it again, mass of H divided by mass of sample into 100, which will be equal to 0.0767 divided by 0.993 into 100, which is equal to, now you will do one thing. You will write all these things in your examination, but you will calculate this as 100 minus 92.275. Why? Because we have already accounted for carbon, and whatever remains, it will be hydrogen. Isn't that right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So you write all these things. Trick your questioner, trick the person who is checking the paper that you are doing so much work, but you just subtract this. So this will be 7.725 percentage. Okay. So now we have got also the mass percentage. Now can you now think that it is now becoming nearer to the question that we directly got in the empirical formula to molecular formula questions? In that also we got the percentage of different elements in a particular molecule, and from that we have to calculate the empirical formula. No? Yes? Anyone? No? Then you have to make the table. You have carbon, and you have hydrogen. So what is the first? The first column is
Percentage by mass.
Yes, percentage by mass, है ना? So now you have the percentage by mass. Okay, I usually make a very long column. We don't require that much long column. Okay, so let me make some more. Percentage by mass, and after that,
Molecular mass.
molecular mass.
Yeah, we have to divide it by the molecular mass.
Divide by molecular mass. Yeah, exactly. Not molecular mass, divide by molecular mass. Correct. Divide by molecular mass. And after that?
Empirical formula.
Empirical formula, or you will get the ratio. Huh? Okay, see, you have here what?
Yeah, empirical ratio.
Empirical ratio it is there, 92.275. And here we have 7.725. These are the mass percentage. And now you will divide both of them. That is 92.275. This will be divided by 12. And 7.725. This will be divided by
1.
Correct. Now in the next column, okay, I have to get this bigger column because we will be requiring, yeah, okay. So any guesses? How much will be this amount? 12 divided by approximately 92, it is there, no? Don't worry, I will divide it for you. Okay, you just see this method. Okay, do one thing, divide this, divide both of them. Divide both of them. You will get a very interesting result. Okay, I need answers from everyone now. And meanwhile, I am making those columns. Khalid, you will be having classes from Wednesday, na? Khalid and Salman.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all excited, eager to go.
It's not still like said it's online or offline.
Yeah, sir. They didn't confirm yet whether it's online or offline.
Oh, I mean, okay. How do you want it? Online or offline?
Offline.
Offline,
Offline,
huh?
100%.
100% offline. I guess our parents even want that that it should start having offline classes. Okay. Hamza and Hiba they have from 12th of the September, na? Yes, Hamza and Hiba?
Yes, sir.
No? 12th of September. Divide both of them and tell me the answer. I mean, for this, you will obviously get the same thing, that is 7.725. But tell me the answer for carbon. Now, this question will also give you a glimpse of the problems that chemists face and how they deal with and how they come up with solutions. Okay, now they have, can you think of some, I mean, they have just burnt a gas, they have collected the amount of carbon dioxide and water they have got. Okay, the only thing that they have confirmed is that also, since they have just got carbon dioxide and water, that means the compound had only carbon dioxide and only water. Okay, and now from those amounts, those physical amounts, measurable amounts, they are calculating they're determining the formula, and that is the molecular formula. So from the macroscopic level in which we can weigh something in grams, they are going inside and determining the molecular formula. Okay, so now this is the beauty of chemistry. So obviously you will just see those questions, but if you further study chemistry, you will be dealing with this type of problems. Okay, so these things, this is just a glimpse of what chemists do. And this is also one, I mean, it is, now we have some very sophisticated techniques for the structural determination. We have NMR, there is one thing. Now, NMR, it is nuclear magnetic resonance, which is used, which is the principle on which the MRI is based. Okay, what is MRI? It is magnetic resonance imaging. Now, NMR is nuclear magnetic resonance. And one interesting fact is that they have they have taken these two letters, that is magnetic and resonance, in the MRI, but they have avoided and omitted the number, which is the N. The letter N they have omitted. That is only because, uh, yes, Hamza, that is correct. Now they have omitted the nuclear N here because in hospital, if you use something as nuclear, people will be afraid. So MRI is from a chemical technique, which is nuclear magnetic resonance. Yes, Hamza, it is correct. Now, okay, yes, Khalid has got. Okay, yes, Khalid, that is correct. Percent H. You have to determine for carbon, and this is you are just dividing it by the. This is not percent
Oh,
H
sorry,
by.
I accidentally wrote H.
Uh, no, even that percent carbon by mass is also not correct because you are just dividing it by their molecular masses. Okay, we are not calculating the percentage. You have already calculated the percentage of carbon and percentage of hydrogen. This is not. We are not doing that here now. Okay, so let me just here. This one. 7.7. Yes, yes, you have got the right answer. So it will be 7.7. Okay. Now, if you see both of these numbers, these are approximately very near. Okay. If you divide these two, let me divide and see exactly how much the value is. it is 92.275, which is divided by 12, and I'm getting 7.689. So it is approximately, it is equal, these two have 7.7 approximately. Okay, so you can take any of the numbers. We can take 7.7 and divide both of them. So if you divide 7.7 divided by 7.7, again I have to have some space here. And this will be, you can say now it is approximately equal to 1. See, our ultimate goal is to calculate the molecular formula. Since from here, as soon as we have made the table, we are going to calculate the molecular formula. Now if you are going to calculate the molecular formula, it is better to have some whole numbers in your hand. Okay, if you see a whole number approaching, now if there is a difference, for example, of 1.5, then please don't take the nearest whole number. But if the, for example, the difference is of 0.0002, then you can take the nearest whole number. Here we have 7.725, which will be divided by 7.7. You can write this is approximate. This is so completely equal to 1, and this is approximately equal to 1. Now we have got the empirical ratios as 1 and 1. Okay, the empirical ratios is 1 and 1. Now the empirical formula will be what? The empirical formula is equal to, we have carbon 1 and hydrogen 1. Okay, this is the empirical formula. Yes guys, I hope everyone has understood. We have done this problem previously also.
Yes.
Hamza, Khalid.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hiba, what about Hiba? Is she understanding?
Yes,
Are you
sir.
understanding, Hiba? Okay, very good. Now from empirical formula to molecular formula, this information will help us. 10 liters of this sample weighs 11.6 gram at STP. Now, as we know that whenever we are dealing with volume and STP, we take the, and in numerical, we take the value 22.4 liters. Okay, because this is an old question, NCERT has not changed the value as of yet. So you will take the old value, that is 22.4. But if somebody asks you molar volume, you will say, as per the new definition of IUPAC, it is 22.7. But as of now, we will take 22.4. So now again, unitary method will start. 10 liters of sample weighs how much? It has said that it weighs 11.6 grams. Okay, that is fine. So 1 liter will weigh how much? Weighs 11.6 divided by 10 grams. Okay, so what is the mass of 1 mole? That is 22.4 liter, because 22.4 liter, that means 1 mole of sample, because it is a gas, of sample weighs 11.6 upon 10 into 22.4. Okay, let me calculate this value. This is approximately, it will come to 26 grams. 0.16 into 22.4. Yeah, this is equal to 25.984 grams. It's approximately equal to 26 grams. Okay, now see, here comes the now we are very near to the answer. Mass of, rather I should say molar mass of empirical formula is equal to, what is the mass of carbon? Carbon mass is 12 gram, because the empirical formula is what? Empirical formula is CH. Let me write that in bracket. We have CH as the empirical formula. So the mass of CH will be equal to 12 plus 1, which is equal to 13 gram. Okay. Now what is N? What we have written, N is equal to what? N is equal to? No, N. That factor N, we have written MF is equal to N into
By
EF.
mass of,
Yeah, correct. That is molecular formula. Mass of molecular formula divided by mass
Molecular
of
formula,
yes, yes, yes.
empirical formula.
Yeah, mass of molecular formula divided by mass of empirical formula. So what is this? N will be equal to mass of molecular formula is how much? Molecular formula is 26 gram, because see, this is the sample. The sample is exactly the molecule, right? Sample is the molecule. So if sample is the molecule, this will be 26 grams. And the mass of empirical formula is how much? 13 grams. So N is equal to 2. Now, if N is equal to 2, then we can say that you can put box, and that you can write molecular formula is equal to 2 into empirical formula. Okay. Now please remember, this is not the mass, this is the empirical formula. So molecular formula will be equal to 2 into carbon and hydrogen. So the molecular formula will be C2H2. C2H2. Did you guys get this? Understand? Okay, now you would like to see the molecule. What is this molecule? This molecule is acetylene or ethine, we can also say, if I go with the IUPAC nomenclature. Triple bond CH. Okay. So this is your molecule. So have you guys completed all the slides?
Yes, sir.
Hamza, Hiba,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Khalid?
Yes, sir, done.
Okay. Now this one also?
No, sir.
Please copy this down. Actually, I forgot one thing. Whose classes are going on Google Colab? Hamza's
No, sir.
or Python?
I have Python.
In you're doing that in Google Colab, or
No,
I
sir.
mean, what
Not
are
in
you?
Google. I'm doing in laptop, or if in mobile, then it is PY3.
Okay. Somebody said Google Colab. I don't know whether. I think it was your senior, Khalid's senior, Ahmed. He said they were doing a PhD. What about you, Khalid?
Yes, sir.
You do Python. Which interpreter do you use? Do you use that idle that is there, or some other?
Yes, sir. Sometimes, mostly Google Colab, and sometimes rarely in Python.
See, you were the one. So
Ideally.
you have to tell, na, कि sir, I was the one who told that you're using Google Colab. Why तुम सोच रहे? Somebody told me. How is Google Colab, by the way? It runs smoothly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have not. I don't have any experience with Google. It is recent because internet is at such a boom. You must be knowing of this thing which is Jupyter Notebook. Do you know this, Khalid?
Heard
No.
of it, but
Heard
haven't
of.
used it.
Haven't used, no? That is an offline interpreter. But so in Google Colab, but you must. Are you using libraries like NumPy, Pandas, those kind of libraries, or do you use simple work? You make your own function. You don't
No,
have
sir.
to import it.
It's like those one 15 minutes video on YouTube. That whole thing is there. Just we learn that much.
So, you have learned that much. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, you are just starting now. Now it is 11 standards. Okay, are you done with this slide?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Hiba?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Khalid?
sir.
Okay. So now, see, if you have understood this question, please, I am asking you again, just read this question and please redo this without saying, okay? Because it is a long. See, we have to use how many slides? This one's okay. We can say that half of slide from here, this complete slide, then this one slide. Okay. Now each of the slide has a few things which is important. That in this slide we are determining the amount of carbon and amount of hydrogen that is present in the sample. In this slide, we are mainly focused on the empirical formula. And in the next slide, we are dealing with the how to get molecular formula from the empirical formula. Okay. So please redo this question. Okay. And if you don't get it right, just cross it all. Okay. Just cross everything if you didn't get it right on the first time. Read again the whole thing in from your notebook. Then again write the question. It is, I have said that is why the question number is 1.34. So you don't have to copy the question from your own notebook, okay, from the notes. Do it in your rough sheet. Take the question number NCERT question number 1.34. Then again redo it. If you are not getting it correct, please redo it until you get it correct without looking at the notes. Okay. Because if I even tell you right now without looking and do it, you won't be able to do it. Okay, because it is a very long and there are many steps involved. Okay. Now, before going to the assignment that I gave, let me just list out the laws of chemical combination so that you will have those also in your notebook. Right, that law of chemical combination. Okay, law of chemical combination. So these are just theoretical laws which you have to learn and just have these things in your mind so that if somebody says this is a law, so and you are like, acha aisa bhi hai kya? You don't have that face, that Pikachu face. That is why just read them. Okay, I would also ask you to just write it with them. You must have heard these laws in your lower standards also. Okay, so the first law is law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. This law states that in a chemical reaction, the total mass of reactant, okay, the total mass of reactant is equal to the total mass of products. The total mass of product. Is it fine? Now you have to note one thing. Now there are some very clever students now. So sometimes they will trick you. Or else now you are the clever student in your class. So if somebody says this law na, just tell them nuclear reaction के लिए तो ऐसा नहीं होता. Okay, this law is not valid for nuclear reactions. Okay, now in nuclear reactions what happens if the protons only dissociate. Okay, so if a proton is coming out of a atom and you are getting a product which is an element, obviously that proton is not a product. The element or any molecule, it is a product. So if you are saying product, that means we are meaning there is some molecule. Now if proton comes out in the nuclear reaction, then the mass will obviously it will decrease. That is why this law is not valid for nuclear reaction. Okay. Okay. Now now please don't think I am colorblind. It is just that it is very late here now, so I am using a yellow kind of filter. So my color perception is not very good as of now. Can somebody tell me in what color have I written this law of conservation of mass? In green?
Yes, sir, in green.
Okay. You will be having very clear. You are not having that yellow shade, na?
No, sir.
Okay. So this is also green, na?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, please. I am not colorblind. It is just that if I am asking I am asking a very stupid question, it is just because I cannot see like that. Okay, fine. Now again, the next law. Law of definite composition. Now, the law of definite composition. Now, this is black, na? In a chemical reaction, that is black, right? Or blue? Black.
No,
I
sir,
guess it is.
black.
Black. Huh? Okay. Law of definite composition. So, a chemical reaction. Please write these things with me, okay? Chemical. No, not here. Composition. So, compound. A chemical compound always consists of same element and it is combined together in a fixed ratio by weight. For example, water. If I say water, now this composition, okay, the composition, for example, in the class, we say the composition is of 60% are boys, 40% are girls. Now, in this composition, there are 2 hydrogens and 1 atom of oxygen in each molecule of each compound of water. Now, this ratio is determined by weight. So, what is the ratio here? Hydrogen is of how much? Hydrogen is, the mass of hydrogen is 2. The mass of oxygen here is how much? 16. So, hydrogen and oxygen, they will always combine. Hydrogen and oxygen always combine with the mass ratio of 1:8. Okay, now what does it mean? For example, if I have 2 grams of hydrogen and I have 8 grams of oxygen, so from this 2 gram of hydrogen only 1 gram will come out, and from here the all 8 gram will come out, and they will react with each other to form H2, okay, whatever moles. But they will always, from hydrogen there will be 1 gram, and for each gram of hydrogen there should be 8 gram of oxygen. And this is the concept that we have already seen in the limiting reagent, right? Now as you can see, We have already left with how many grams of hydrogen? We are left with 1 gram of hydrogen. It is not reacting. So what is limiting the reaction? The limiting reagent is oxygen, because it is limiting the reaction. We have excess of hydrogen and limited amount of oxygen. Okay. So from here comes the limiting reagent concept. This is the law of chemical composition. I hope you must have heard these laws, no?
Yes, sir.
No? Huh, you must have. Okay, fine. So have you done copying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Khalid, Salman.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
let us see. Okay. So now next one is law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportions. Now this law states that, for example, if I say carbon plus oxygen, okay. Now carbon plus oxygen, if I say, then it can always also form carbon monoxide, or they can form carbon dioxide. For example, if you see nitrogen and oxygen, now if in the 12th standard you will see they form oxide from NO, N2O, N2O3, N2O4, N2O5. Okay, how many is this? 2, 3, 4, 5. There is also one more. Okay, NO, N2O, and there is NO2, nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so these form how many? 6 oxides. So now this law is for those type of element, those type of two elements or two or more elements which combine to form two or more compounds. Two or more compounds. Okay, so just write this with me. When two elements combine together, when two elements combine together to form two or more. How many? To form two or more than two compounds. Two or more than two compounds, then masses of one of the element, then masses of one of the element combines with fixed mass of another element and bears a simple whole number ratio, and bears a simple whole number ratio. Okay, now what does this mean? For example, we have the two molecules which are the two elements, carbon and oxygen. Okay, now both of them combine and they form either carbon dioxide, or they can form carbon monoxide. So carbon monoxide, and let us write here carbon dioxide. So the mass of carbon here is 12 and here it is 16. The mass of carbon here is 12 and here it is 32. Okay, now see, now here we have 16, and from here we will take C. Then the masses of one of the element combines with the fixed masses of another element and bears a simple whole number ratio. Now if you see 16 and 32, now this is equal to how much? 1:2. Okay, so this is the law. If you have any molecule which is if you have two elements which combine to form two or more than two compounds, then masses of the element combine with fixed mass of another element. Now this is important. Fixed mass of another element. The masses of one of the element. What is the masses of this one? This one here is oxygen. The fixed mass of another. This another is carbon. See, carbon mass is same. Now masses of one of the element, masses plural. So this we have oxygen here is 16, oxygen here is 32. And these numbers 16 and 32 will bear a whole number ratio. Okay, did you guys understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me make a thing like this. Also write these things, that this one here is oxygen and this another element here is which has fixed mass is carbon. Okay, so when you're reading, make notes. I mean, you should so much personalize your notes. You should personalize your notes so much to that extent that if some other people they start reading your notes, I hope they understand it, but they don't understand it completely. Okay, personalize your note in that way that it is your own book. Are you done writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, these are the three law of chemical combination that you have to learn. Now let us move on to the assignment. Okay. So can I stop sharing now? This one. Let me share another screen in which we have our assignment. Okay. Now can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me just fix this up. Now it is more visible. Okay. Okay. Yes, Hiba, you read the first question now? I mean, read it out loud.
A student needs 0.366 mole of zinc for a reaction. What mass of zinc in grams should the student obtain? Molar
And
mass
molar
of
mass of
zinc.
zinc is given. Okay. So, okay. How many of you can do this question? Just say yes or no. Hamza, can you do this question? Is it something that we have done already? No.
Yes, sir.
Anna, see, this student is just there to, I mean, what we can say. It is a scene in a lab, as you can see. Okay. Now, the important thing is that you have to just calculate the mass of 0.366 mole of zinc. And for that, what is the formula? The main formula that you are going to use is number of moles is equal to how much? Number of moles is equal to given mass, that is given by W upon molar mass. Okay, so we have the number of moles, we have the number of the molar mass. So we want to find the given mass. What is the mass of this? So you can just have the molar mass into N. Okay, as simple as that. Now in the next question we have, I have to see the drawing elements because I need to erase a few things. Okay. Okay, in the next question, what do we have? In the next question, we have how many moles of lithium are there in itna amount of lithium atoms? Okay, by the way, Khalid, I hope you can also do this question, right?
Yes, sir.
No, these are easy. Here we have moles of we have asked number of moles of lithium and they have given me the amount. If I have moles have three, if you have moles, then I always say that you can write the moles in three terms. You can write this in terms of number, or in terms of mass, or in terms of volume, but this is only for gas. If you have number, now if you want to go from number to mole, divide this number by Avogadro's number. If you want to go from mole to number, multiply mole to Na. Okay, so we have what? We have the number of atoms. Now we have the numbers, we just divide it by Avogadro's number and we will get the number of moles of lithium. Easy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now all of you start reading the questions. Okay, see, your chapter 1 is completed. मतलब पता भी चला आप लोगों को? Chapter 1 is खत्म. It is over. Chapter 1 na done. There is one thing which is significant figures. Okay, so significant figures you can either learn that by on your own. If you have any doubt, then you will ask me. Okay, because those are just set of rules. I can maybe give some questions, but you must have learned also in your physics class. So in the next class, we will be dealing with this second chapter. Now, start reading, and when you come till 7, tell me if you have any doubt. Any of you, if you have any doubt that, sir, I think I cannot do this question. I don't know what concept I have to use. Then just tell me. Okay. और इवन इफ यू थिंक कि हमको तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि शायद होगा, बट आई डोंट नो सर, कैन यू प्लीज कंफर्म इट, देन आल्सो आई विल डू इट. ओके, so just read till 7. Let me know. If you have no doubt, please tell me that you have no doubt. Otherwise, I will be just sitting here. Yes, Hamza. Till 7, you can do all.
Yes, sir. Just checking the last two.
Last one, okay. Yes, Hiba, Khalid, and Salman. What about you guys? Are you doing those questions or you just reading those questions?
Yes, sir, doing.
Arey, why are you doing? Just read those questions and tell me if you can do or not. देख के भी तो पता चल जाता ना कि ये तो हो जाएगा. अच्छा, यहाँ पे ये concept लगेगा. I'm asking that. You should also, if you not, then try to develop that kind of sense. Okay, it helps in examinations. Yes, Khalid.
Yes, sir.
Read till 7 and tell me. I will deal with the other questions which are a bit longer. These 7, I know that you all can do these 7. Don't do it here. You have to do it at home.
Oh, as homework?
I was telling to read those questions. Just read those questions and let me know if you can do it or not. Read those questions. Don't do it and tell me. अरे guys,
Oh, yes, sir, we can do.
you can do ना? अरे हाँ,
Yes,
अरे भाई अपने बारे में बोलिए आप. You can do. Say Khalid, I can do all those 7. Say,
yes, sir, I can do those 7 questions.
yeah, you can. Okay, now let us talk about Hamza. Yes, Hamza, you can do those 7 questions.
Yes, sir. But I have a doubt of fifth one. Even though
On
we have
fifth
done, that, but I just got forgot.
Okay,
Like
how many
how
moles?
to do.
Acha, acha. No problem. How many moles of carbon dioxide are there in 66.0 grams of dry ice, which is solid CO2? I mean, this dry ice is nothing, but it is CO2 only. So we don't have to worry about that. That what things are present in CO2. Oh, sorry, what things are present in dry ice. Okay, let us see this reaction. Let us see this question now. How many moles of in 66 grams? So what is the number of moles is equal to given mass? Okay, in terms of mass, given mass by molar mass. Okay. So what is the given mass here?
66 grams.
66. What is the molar mass of CO2?
44.
44. Yeah, exactly. इतना सारे सवाल करने का यही फायदा होता है. That you learn some simple molar masses. So now you can calculate it. No, this will be equal to how much? 33
Yes.
by 22. Then you can further, if you calculate it, this becomes 33 by 22. It comes is equal to. Can you imagine it is equal to 1.5?
1.5.
Correct? It is equal to 1.5.
Yes.
Also because 11 2s are, this is 11 3s are. Okay. So it was easy. I think you were just confirming, na?
Yes, sir. Because of the dry ice and solid CO2.
Dry as the okay, yeah, language sometimes people know this is major issue in the 12th standard. In 12th standard, there is a even in 11th standard, the P block elements. In that, the questioner puts question in such a way that students are confused, and most of the times the MCQs are more difficult because the questioner is asking the reason of A, okay, and he has also stated something like B, but he is asking about A, and all the 4 statements are correct, but there is only one statement which is related to the question he has asked about A. The other statements are related to B. So in that case, student have to be very precise what the questioner is asking. Okay, so till 7 you all can do. That is very good. So let us deal with the 8th one. Now for 8th one, now why is my okay? I need the cursor to okay, cursor is also working. So for 8th one, I need space here. A chemist weighs steel cylinder of compressed O2 and finds that it has a mass of 10278 grams. Okay. After some time, oxygen is used in an experiment. The cylinder has a mass of itna gram. How many moles of oxygen are used in this experiment? It is very easy. Mass of oxygen in cylinder before experiment is equal to 1027.8 grams. Mass of O2. I hope you know this thing now. What is this? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In cylinder after experiment is equal to 1023.2 grams. So amount of O2 used is equal to 1027.8 grams minus 1023. This is grams, no? 1023.2 grams. Okay. So this is equal to how much? 8 minus 2 will be equal to 6. 7 minus 3 will be equal to 5. And then we have 102. So this is equal to 5.6 grams. Okay. So moles of O2 used. Now here, please remember this is oxygen gas, so it is O2 and not elemental oxygen, that is O.
Sir,
Okay, it is not
7 minus 3 will be 4.
Yes, sorry. This will be 4. Thank you for correct. Okay, now moles of O2 used will be equal to given mass divided by molar mass. So given mass is 4.6 grams. The molar mass of O2. Now oxygen has 16, O2 has 32. So this will be equal to how much? .143. Okay, 0.143 moles. Okay, this was also easy question. I mean, the question was long, but I mean, essentially you just had to do given mass by molar mass. Okay. Yes, guys. Can I get a yes or no or something, please?
Yes, sir.
It was easy, now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, all of you. Okay, Hamza, read this question, and other also read this question. Okay, but Hamza will read with mic on. Other will read with mic off. This is an important conceptual question.
An Avogadro's number of one mole of sugar molecules has a mass of 342 grams, but an Avogadro's number 1 mole of water molecules has a mass of only 18 grams. Explain why there is such a difference between the mass of 1 mole of sugar and the mass of 1 mole of water.
Okay. So, do you think, can you explain this? I mean, it is not very hyper science here. Okay. Okay. Bio student, tell me mass of, sorry, molecular formula of sugar. Does Hiba knows the molecular formula for sugar? Or anyone here? No. Okay. Fine. So, one sugar molecule, its formula is there are 12 carbons, H22, and oxygen there are 11. Okay, this is one molecule. Okay, and water only H2O. Okay, now since sugar, one molecule of sugar is comparatively very large and heavy than one water molecule, hence 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of both the compounds would have a large difference in mass. Okay, so the important thing was, if one molecule is itself very heavy, then one mole will always be heavy. Okay, easy. Hiba, Hamza, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Khalid.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us move
Yes,
down.
sir.
Yeah, if I erase these things, then it is of no use. But the thing is that if I do shift enter, it will be right. No? Shift enter is fine. Now this question: boron carbonate decomposes into boron oxide and carbon dioxide. How many moles of CO2 are produced in when 5 mole of boron carbonate decomposes completely? Can you do this question, everyone? Try this. Okay. Let me give you how many minutes? Tell me how many minutes should I give you? 5 minutes? Salman is asking something. This question number 10. 5, 6. Acha,
No,
5,
I
6.
meant 5-6 minutes.
Acha, 5, 6 minutes. Okay, yeah, 5 minutes is fine. Take 5 minutes for this question. We have done this type of question, okay? The reaction is balanced for you already. The molar mass of boron is 10.8. But I don't think you need the molar mass of boron. It is very easy question. Please don't go into mass. Okay, read the question. You just have to deal with moles. They have not asked you about mass or volume or number. Then do it with moles. You don't need any molar mass or something. Okay. Now this question can be done even without lifting the pen, and I will prove it to you after 5 minutes. I will ask someone and they will answer it just verbally. Okay, 3 more minutes. You need to translate. This is chemistry. You have to translate it in English, and that is your answer. Okay, you don't have to do anything else. As soon as you translate, you will get the answer. This decomposes means this reaction only. Okay, don't get confused with decomposes. See, boron is decomposing. It means it is breaking down into B2O3 and monoxide and carbon dioxide. Na? So this is decomposition. That means it is breaking out. Yes, Khalid, correct. Khalid, okay, now please turn your mic on. Don't say the answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me. Now, when you have got the answer, do you think this question even needed the pen to be lifted?
No, sir.
No, na? But okay, fine. So I have made it clear. This was did we? How many minutes did we need for this question?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay, Salman has also done. Salman, send me the answer. If you have done it, send me the answer.
I don't
Don't
have
keep
the
me.
phone right now, sir.
You don't have phone?
Right now, I don't have it.
So how are you talking to me?
I'm in a computer, so yeah.
So you are in a computer, so you can send chats now.
Oh, okay, that. I thought photo or something. Okay, sir.
No. Just send me, okay? Because these are Hi, Hiba and Hamza. You guys are stuck now? Huh?
Yes,
Hamza,
sir, kind of,
Hiba?
because I don't know what to do, like how to proceed.
Did you translate? I hope you understand when I say, did you translate? No. हमजा, हिबा, आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी. Hiba, try speaking. Hamza is not audible. What happened? Yes, Hamza. Can you hear Hamza Khalid? Is Hamza audible?
No,
Am
sir.
I?
So, sorry, sir. The net because of this net.
Acha, okay, no, you don't need to apologize. If it is net, then you don't need to apologize, obviously. I understand. I was seeing that you are unmute, but I cannot hear you. Okay. So Hamza, did you translate?
No, sir. I did.
You didn't even translate.
No,
Okay, okay.
sir.
Yes. Acha, wait. Is this balanced? Just see this now. Check this. You can check this now. Is this balanced?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, Hamza. Okay, again, I guess. You have major internet issues, guys.
Yes, sir.
Acha, okay, fine. Yes, Heba, tell me, is this balanced?
Yes, sir.
It is balanced, okay. So here it is 1 mole, it is 1 mole, and here it is 3 moles, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me, this is boron carbonate, na? Okay, were you not understanding that this is boron carbonate? I hope you understood that this is boron carbonate. Yes, no, something, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I have 1 mole of boron carbonate, then I get how many moles of carbon dioxide?
2.
If I have 1 mole of boron carbonate, how many moles of carbon dioxide did I get?
3, sir.
3, na? See, read the equation is. That is why I ask you always to translate this. That means 1 mole. This is 1 mole. This is 3 mole. Okay. So if from 1 mole you got 3 mole. So from 5 mole you will get how much, Hamza? From 5 mole you will get
15.
Yeah. It was that easy. Now tell me, did we even need to lift the hand, lift pen? Did we even
No,
need to use pen? No, na? Okay.
no.
But don't, okay, sorry. Don't worry, but it is fine. Sometimes ऐसा हो जाता है ना कि आपको मतलब समझ ही नहीं आता कि क्या करना है. And it is, you are not alone here. I mean, me and each and everyone who has studied chemistry has faced this. Okay, each and everyone who has studied chemistry, they have faced it. Is in every question of chemistry. I used to think in 11th standard something is missing. Something I used to say to my teacher, sir, something is missing. मतलब कुछ और information चाहिए होगा. इतना से हम कैसे निकाल ले सब कुछ? And I remember this because that CH and CH, that question had only two things: the amount of carbon dioxide that has been produced, and they are asking the molecular formulas. I was like, sir, something should be there, sir. My teacher used to tell me, nothing is missing, your brain is missing. So most of the times our brain is missing. Okay, so don't worry, but dhire, and see, now I'm teaching those things. So aluminium oxide is formed when aluminium combines with oxygen in the air. Okay, so this is one information that they have said. Okay, fine. Oxygen in the air. How many grams of Al2O3 are found when 3.6 gram of Al reacts completely with oxygen? Okay. So for this you need something that is the molar mass of aluminium. What is the molar mass of aluminium? 26 gram. because we are dealing with grams. Aluminum is equal to 26.9 or 27 grams per mole.
27.
27, 26.9 it is 27 grams. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now we have 4Al plus 2O2 and it gives 2Al2O3. Now this we have to convert this into 4 mole. This is 2 mole. This is again 2 mole. Now they are saying 23.6 gram. 23.6 gram of Al reacts completely with oxygen. So let us start with here. If we have 4 moles, it gives. They are asking me Al2O3, so I don't need oxygen. We just have to deal with aluminium and Al2O3. Okay. So from 4 moles, we are getting 2 moles. So from 23.6 grams, how many moles will be getting? Okay. So let us first of all convert this into number of moles. What will be this? This will be equal to the given mass. Given mass is equal to 23.6 divided by 27. This will be equal to 23.6 na? Divided by 27, which is equal to 0.874. 0.874 moles. Okay. Now we have this information. From 4 we get 2. 4 mole of aluminium gives 2 mole of Al2O3. So 1 mole of Al will give 2/4 mole of Al2O3, or we can say 0.5. Okay. So 0.874 mole of aluminium will give 2/4 into 0.874 mole of Al2O3. This will be equal to how much?
So
If
it
we
is
have
0.437.
874 0.
437.
It's correct. 0.437 mole. Now we have to convert how many grams now? So we have got the moles of what? Of Al2O3. Now we have to calculate the molar mass of Al2O3. Calculate the molar mass of Al2O3 now. Calculate the molar mass of Al2O3 and tell me. (27) into 2 plus how much oxygen is there? Oxygen is 3 now. Each oxygen is 16 into 3. Yes, Khalid. You must have got this as 27 2, which is equal to 34. No, 27 2. No. Sorry. It's not 14. Is 27. Sense, sir.